Hi, good day to all of you today. Today is August 3rd, and this is going to be the start of the month of August. But as we all know, it's not that good because we just learned today on social media, especially Twitter, that President Duterte and his men revived the modified enhanced community quarantine protocols, and it's going to be applied over the next few days, and it's going to start on August 4th. All right. And over the past few days, last week or 2 weeks, we've witnessed President Duterte delivered his own State of the Nation address. And I said my description of the President's Sona is boring, unprecedented, and it's not really inspiring to all Filipinos, especially that we have been experiencing this pandemic or crisis over the past 3 months or more than 3 months already. So, all right, so we're gonna talk about this modified enhanced community quarantine revival. But before that, I would like to invite you to like this video, subscribe as well if you're not subscribed, and share, comment if you have anything to say. On this channel, Uncensored Asian Vlog, I'll be discussing about any political, cultural, or any issue that I think is very important to us Filipinos, and things that also are impacting Asia, especially the case of China, Hong Kong, and any other issues that I think is worth discussing. So anyways, let's move on to the trends today. I like using Twitter. I've been saying this for some time because Twitter is going to give us like real-time events as these events unfold. And I remember one of my bashers, I usually post my vlogs on a particular Facebook group, and I have bashers on that particular group. And one of these DDS was like telling me, "Oh, so your source is Twitter? Are you stupid?" All right. So yes, I'm getting all this information on Twitter, but the main source are the people themselves. So for example, Mr. Haruroge has his own Twitter account. All right. So Haruroke through Twitter can share or put out his opinion anytime on Twitter, and that's his personal opinion. Okay, so the main source is Haruroke, right? Although he posted his comments or opinions on Twitter. So also, all of our news outlets in the Philippines have Twitter accounts: Inquirer, abs-cbn, GMA7, Philstar, etc. They have official Twitter accounts, and they also have official Facebook accounts. So if I'm gonna get, a particular statement of a public official, say President Duterte on Twitter, then I'm getting my source from that particular news, and they're simply coding President Duterte. So for a DDS to say that my source is Twitter, you must be so stupid. So if that's the case, all the information that you get from Mocha Uson and the Banat B, is it the name of that Balding Moran, Banat B, that means that all of your information are from Facebook, right? Because they have Facebook accounts. So that simply means that all of these DDS were fooled by Facebook accounts. Well, that's actually the case during the 2016 election. But before I get derailed, let's get on to the main issue, which is the MECQ. So as you can see, the main trends today, or the top trends today, are MECQ, Duterte, Doke, and a lot of people are asking, or asking for the firing of Mr. Doke, the top health official in the Philippines, because of his stupid policies, of his failures, etc. And he kind of reminds me of Dr. Anthony Fauci in the United States. So I think they are the same in terms of political inclination because, and the only difference is how they react or their behavior towards their own presidents. For example, Anthony Fauci in the United States is more of pro-liberal, pro-democrat in terms of policies. Okay, he wants shutdown. And prior to all of this today, Anthony Fauci in the United States, he's the top health official in the United States, and he's loved by the liberal media and the Democrats because he's kind of an antagonist to President Trump. That's the reason why the media love to prop him and to make him into like this hero, despite the fact that he was wrong all the time. He was wrong in terms of everything he said about COVID and way back Feb, March, etc. And in fact, he opposed President Trump's travel ban of China and Europe. And he said that it's okay if you're not gonna wear face masks, etc. But now, because the Democrats and the liberal media are like turning face mask into a mandatory thing that we need to wear, or the Americans need to wear. In fact, the Democrats are using the law in order to jail anyone who's not going to wear a face mask, and they're trying to club President Trump into bully him into wearing face mask. And we all know that President Trump tends to double down when he's being forced to do something that he doesn't want to do. Of course, he knows that health is important. Trump knows it. He wears, face mask when necessary, when dealing with other people. But when it comes to public speaking, etc., he doesn't have to wear face mask because everyone around him, everyone who is around him, is going to get tested before anyone comes in contact with him. So in terms of Doge, he's kind of very inept, incompetent, according to his critics. I'm not really familiar with this issue, but because I don't really care about whether this or that official is doing a great job. I'm looking at this issue as a whole. It's a Duterte plan, it's a Duterte achievement, etc. So because we all know that Duterte refused to fire Sinas, the military guy who violated quarantine rules. He had this gathering during his birthday, and the defenders of Sinas, especially the president, said it's just a simple gathering. It's a surprise birthday party, etc. So, but the fact that he condoned it, Sinas condoned it, simply means that these people think they're above the law, especially that the president made a lot of excuses. All right, made a lot of excuses in order not to fire Sinas, and he even said that how can I fire someone who's the only qualified for the job? The audacity is actually trending today. So the third is trending. MECQ, Doge, 9 trillion peso is the amount of our debt, as of this moment. So we're over 9 trillion in debt. The Philippines is indebted to all of these international creditors. All right, so let's get to what we need to expect during this revived or fortified. How are we going to call this then? Since it's re-implemented, it's going to be fortified or revived, modified, enhanced community quarantine. So, all right. So just a bit of refresher, and this is coming from not just ABS-CBN but all other news. So I'm getting this information on Twitter because all of these media establishments that have today have Twitter, and they're putting out their information on Twitter, and all of this information are coming from the government. All right, So the main source is actually the government, the DDS. Okay, they understand that. They have common sense to understand that. All right, so here's a short of refresher on MECQ guidelines, and this was presented by presidential spokesperson Harry Roque. So the main source of this information, DDS, is Henrietta Roque. Okay, Timaring Roque, 100% stay at home. All right, so we're gonna stay at home. We need to go back inside the confines of our home. But the question is, are we gonna wear again what I call this, the quarantine pass, in order to avoid or prevent being arrested by government officials, especially the barangay officials in our communities? We don't know. They need to clarify that. All right, so limited outdoor exercise. What is this? Allowed. So only a limited outdoor exercise is allowed. Outdoor walk, if you want to jog, if you want anything that is outdoor, according to this source, which is coming from Henrietta Roque, with safety protocols. So that's a caveat. So if you can go outside, but with safety protocol, you need to wear face mask and observe 2-meter social distancing. And number 3, highly restricted. It should be 5 maximum of people gathering. All right, so that means that there's not going to be any protests. So take note, abs-cbn supporters, take note, protesters of the what I call this anti-terror law of President Duterte. You cannot gather in more than 5 groups. Okay, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna be arrested in the name of MECQ. All right, so no public transport. So I really pity, our public transport drivers. So they just came back to work recently, right? I think it's not yet, they've not been working for more than 1 month, but they will be forced not to work again because of the revival of the MECQ. Anyways, according to the government, it's just going to be 15 days or 2 weeks. But the thing is, it can be extended. That's a problem. Taxi driver, Grab driver, some tricycle drivers and jeepney drivers were allowed. But they are going to be forced again to stop working. What else? Flights, no domestic, limited international, controlled inbound travel. Okay, they're going to control inbound travel as well of W returning Filipinos. Biking and non-motorized transport encouraged. So fortunately for me, I have my own scooter, which I got during the lockdown. I got that on, I can still remember, May 31st or 30th, if I'm not mistaken. So school premises closed, which is already what's going on over the past months, and skeletal on-site, others work from home. So lucky for those working from home, including me. I just started working from home after a few months of not working, on and off actually. So yeah, lucky for those people who are working from home, who have businesses that are thriving during this crisis, because according to the government, unfortunately, wala nang pera ang gobyerno. So in fact, there's this trend, like I said earlier, that shows the government does not have money, and apart from that, we are 9 trillion in debt. And one of the top trends as well, is let Lenny lead. Okay, let Lenny lead. Well, I don't give a damn about politics. Whoever is gonna do the job, please let that person. It doesn't have to be Lenny. Anyone who can do the job. All right, anyone who can do the job. So, yep, that's 9 trillion in debt.